We're back on NFL Live. To Ravens camp we go, where quarterback Lamar Jackson not present because he's still fighting an illness. He's missed the first 3 practices of camp, with Josh Johnson getting the first team reps. Dan Graziano is with the Ravens today, where the defense was front and center. Graz, you had a chance to catch up with safety Kyle Hamilton this afternoon. What did he have to say?
Yeah, Laura, I mean, there's a lot of change on that side of the ball, right? Not only did defensive coordinator Mike Macdonald leave to be the head coach in Seattle, but they lost a lot of personnel and a couple other top defensive assistants. So I asked Kyle Hamilton what gives him the confidence that this Ravens defense that was so dominant last year can keep it going under new coordinator Zach Orr.
Honestly, these past 3 days have been pretty telling as to where we're at as a team, as a defense. I think it's pretty easy to tell just after being out there. We have everything we need. We have the mentality, we have the mindset, we have the players, coaches, and it's just about going and do it now. So I don't think there's any sort of doubt that we can do exactly what we did last year and even more.
Now, as I mentioned, the new coordinator is Zach Orr, who was a young player with the Ravens 8 years ago when health reasons forced him to retire. He's been on their coaching staff every year since, except for one. He was with Urban Meyer in Jacksonville, a year everyone tries to forget. But the Ravens feel like they have groomed Orr for this opportunity. He is 32 years old. They are excited to see what he can do, and Kyle Hamilton told me he's already started to put a little bit of his sauce on the defense, Laura.
We love that. Sauce on anything. Thanks to Graz. Of course, you'll see him again throughout the week. And as camps continue across the NFL, he'll be at some of the biggest places. All right, the Baltimore defense was dominant last season, leading the league in points allowed, sacks, and yards per attempt. They were tied with the Giants for the most takeaways. It was the first time since 2006 Baltimore led the league in points allowed. But the Ravens will have that new defensive coordinator that we just talked about, Zach Orr. He's taken over from Mike Macdonald, who will be Seattle's head coach. A lot of change there, RC, for this Ravens defense. Are you concerned about their ability to sustain that high level of play that we saw last year, a big piece of their identity?
I think concerned isn't the word. I am curious. I am very interested. If you remember, it took a second for Mike Macdonald to truly get a grasp of what he wanted to do with each of the individuals on the Baltimore Ravens defense, where we finally got to see Kyle Hamilton show why he was an early first-round pick. Jadeveon Clowney be rejuvenated there. Also, one of the best linebacker duos in football, Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith, are no more, with Patrick Queen being in Pittsburgh. And you heard about that Zach Orr sauce. Well, part of Mike Macdonald's sauce was getting every player in position to be the best they could possibly be. So how does Zach Orr do that and add to this team a little bit of his own flavor? So I'm excited to see how they start the season, because if they start off hot, the Baltimore Ravens can again be one of the best teams in all of the league.
You know, RC, I think early on it's going to be this Raven offense carrying that defense for much of the reasons you stated when you lose a guy like Mike Macdonald, Anthony Weaver, amongst other coaches. And they lost players at every level, from Jadeveon Clowney, Patrick Queen, Rock Ya-Sin, Ronald Darby on the back end. Look, they just signed Eddie Jackson a couple days ago. They may have to rely on Nate Wiggins, who they drafted out of Clemson. So I think this defense will get better. This front office does a great job of reloading every year. But to your point, it didn't happen overnight for Mike Macdonald. I think if we're being fair to them now, it's not going to happen overnight. So I think this defense can get better, but I think early on this offense should carry the defense.
No, but this team has done a great job of grooming coaches and letting them grow from there. And Zach Orr was somebody that was in demand across the league. And rather than lose him to another team which was willing to give him defensive coordinator opportunities, the Ravens kept him right in the organization. And he now becomes one of the central key figures in the success of this team moving forward this season. This team was great last year. It came up short in the end when it mattered most. And it'll be up to Zach Orr to help this team try to get to the next level now.
Yeah, RC, when you think about time of possession and just the complexion of a game, you've got Derrick Henry now. You got to think that helps the defense maybe in some ways, right?
I mean, it helps the defense in this way. Mike T has brought up an interesting point the last couple of times I've been on air with him about the Baltimore Ravens losing leads in 3 games last season. You expect someone like Derrick Henry to be able to be a finisher where that defense isn't getting put back on the field in bad positions while they have the lead. But they've always been able to run the ball. It's going to be, can he take some of the pressure off of Lamar Jackson, to me, even more so than that Baltimore Ravens defense?
You know, he's got aura for sure. I feel like you see that word thrown around a lot nowadays. He's got that. He's like the epitome of that. But when he gets to spinning the ball, you know, it's a sight to see and to be on the other end of it. Like I said, I'm blessed. But yeah, we got to find a way to keep that boy upright and you know, get better every day. And yeah, I mean, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
We're going to show you more of this video, but I got to say, maybe I'm just a prisoner of the moment. The video of Aaron Rodgers just moving, grooving off the top of this segment made me think that things are looking good. Mike, with Rodgers coming off this Achilles injury, would you put him out there for some preseason reps? Because that's going to be happening soon, and people are going to get all dicey about it.
You know, Laura, let's see if RC took some copious notes from this morning's show.
Uh-oh.
Absolutely, and here's why.
I did not.
I've been around players for a long time, and while you may be medically cleared, you truly aren't over a significant injury like an Achilles until you are hit, go to the ground, and get back up. So if I'm the Jets, I know this is a little atypical. I do give Aaron Rodgers meaningful reps in the preseason, just from a standpoint, let him get over that last hump mentally. So when they go play that 49ers in that blockbuster opening night, Monday night game, everything's behind him, because the one question mark he's going to have is, can I withstand getting hit? Do I still have that short area quickness? And to me, you want to check that box in the preseason, get him in maybe for a couple of series, get him out, but don't have him have the first live reps be on Monday Night Football in the regular season.
Hey, Laura, when I blink like this, that means I can't understand what I'm hearing. My mind is not processing. Laura, let me tell you a little story. When I was in high school, I saved up all my little money and I bought some Joop cologne. That's right, J-O-O-P. And I remember I had got down to the very end of my Joop. And I had a lot of functions where I was just going to hang with my homeboys, so I never wore the cologne, right? Because I only had a little bit left. But then they had the big dance, because I went to a Catholic school, it was all boys. We went to a big dance with the 2 girls school, and I used all the rest of my Joop for that, right? Because it was game time, Laura. Because I knew if I walked up to a girl with that Joop on, I was going to be undeniable. But I didn't care what I smelled like around my homeboys. My homeboys were the preseason. The dance with the girls was the regular season. So I didn't use my cologne. You don't bring Aaron Rodgers out until it counts for real, Laura. Laura, Aaron Rodgers, if you talk to Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, any Sauce Gardner on the defense, Aaron Rodgers is confidence PEDs for the Jets, right? When he's on the field, their confidence is on steroids. They feel totally different. You hear them talking about the man's aura. He walks into camp with thong flip-flops. Do you know how confident of a human you got to be as a man to wear thong flip-flops? Aaron Rodgers don't need no reps in the preseason, and Mike Tannenbaum knew if he was the general manager, he would be saying the same thing. Hell no. You don't put Aaron Rodgers out there until it's time for real games. He got me sweating. I'm hot.
You need
Jesus,
some Joop.
I feel like Swagger.
Yeah. All I know is that the entire Jets locker room is in need of some Joop, because this is a team that has smelled bad a long time now. They need a whole new fragrance right now. And again, if they want to bring Aaron Rodgers out and save some of the Joop for Monday night and Saturday, that's great. But this whole team needs to be deodorized right now, RC.
Hey, RC just got frozen. So, there he is. He's back. But guys, in case you're wondering, if you're not familiar, Joop cologne is bursts of warm spice, florals, and woods. It radiates exuberance, confidence, and something else I'm not going to say.
Laura.
Yes.
Laura, let me tell you something else. It works every time. Joop cologne. It does.
Every time.
Confirmed.
Wow, Adam. That begs for a follow-up question, but
every time.
I'm going to leave it.
Tagovailoa is there, entering the final season of his contract, reporting to camp, getting ready to work in Miami right now. The two sides have continued to talk about an extension. They don't appear to be close to a deal at this time, but Miami has made no secret of the fact that it wants to keep Tua Tagovailoa, sign him to a long-term extension, and it will continue talking throughout the summer in an effort to get a deal done with him.
Adam, Tua's teammates certainly think their quarterback should get paid. Listen to this from today.
First and foremost, I think Tua is very well deserving of the opportunity to get a contract extension. He's worked his tail off, especially since I've started playing with him. I've seen nothing but growth, and the leadership that he portrays, not only for the team but for the organization.
He's very excited to be back in the building with all of the guys. So it's great to see him out there, man. Still coming into work. Still about his business without having the deal done. And it's just been awesome, man, just having him around. Like, just his presence means a lot.
Mike, you've been in the GM position, of course, before. How would you handle Tua's contract if you're the Dolphins?
Well, I think the average per year is pretty sensible and pretty apparent, somewhere around that $55 million deal that Trevor Lawrence just got done. Joe Burrow's in that area. We saw Justin Herbert earlier in the offseason. Lamar Jackson's in that area. So the average per year, to me, that market is pretty well defined. However, last year Tua played in all 17 games, and he deserves credit for that. There were 66 other quarterbacks that started a game. But he has been hurt in college at Alabama. He's been hurt as a Miami Dolphin. And I think the guarantees in this deal are really hard to get done. He'll want a full market guarantee saying that I played in all 17 games a year ago. And the Dolphins rightfully will want some protection given durability issues both at the college and pro level. And I think that's why we're sitting here on the precipice of camp and his deal isn't done.
I mean, it's still right. If you're a really good quarterback and you're the next guy up, you set the market. That's what we've normally seen from this position. It feels like the Miami Dolphins are saying, I don't know if we're going to let you set the market.
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure out how they can work this contract. So Tua Tagovailoa, who deserves an extension, who has shown he can be your franchise quarterback, is trying to figure out where he fits in as it pertains to market value, because he has been injured. We all watched that game in Kansas City where we know if they got to go anywhere but Miami in the playoffs, you might as well cancel Christmas, and Christmas won't be until 12 months later. And so now we have to figure out, where do we slot him as it pertains to quarterback? I think this is one of the most difficult deals to get done in the entire NFL. Does he deserve his money? Yes. How much of it he deserves and how soon he should get it and how much of that is in cash, that is what's in question. And I believe those are the things that they're dealing with, ironing out to finish off his deal.
Yeah, it's well said, RC, because they love Tua. They've said that. Mike McDaniel has said that. The front office has said it.
Yes.
But there are tiers when it comes to these quarterbacks, and we're sort of in this world where we say, well, the next one up is going to reset the market. But I think that was a really good point by you. Maybe that's not what they want to see happen right here.